Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm just looking at the setup like, wow, it feels weird going live from here considering I don't sit on this couch ever at all. It's just here really for decoration. But I'm using it today in this video as a prop. So over this past week, and yesterday actually, I had the pleasure of going out to a few Black cultural events here across New York City. And I went to the Black Creatives and Culture um, Festival. It's like a kind of festival vendor show bringing together a lot of Black owned vendors in Brooklyn yesterday. I think it's called City Point, Brooklyn, in downtown Brooklyn. And I want to show you guys some things that I purchased there from there. And I also want to talk about the importance of, maybe I can bring you guys a little bit closer. What do you think? Let's see. How is that? But maybe hold on. It's actually snowing outside here today. Here in New York. Just I saw a little snow flurries outside my window. But yeah, I purchased a few things. I want to talk to you guys about the importance of embracing our cultural identity. And we can do that through wearing fashion, like through fashion itself, right? Funny enough, because anyone who truly really knows me knows that I never really been like a fashionista per se. Like this is something like new coming into my awakening that happened when I was living out in Los Angeles, California. I'm a bit hot, yo. It's funny. I think because they have the heat blasting up in here, so I'm gonna turn on my AC. But yeah, I was living in Los Angeles and I was working on my doctoral studies. My dissertation, as I have shared with you guys before, is on Black identity, acculturation, and implicit racial bias. And although I would say Los Angeles is less culturally inclusive, less culturally diverse, even though other sources probably would say that the complete opposite. But I've lived there. I lived there for 4 years. I immersed myself in the Los Angeles culture. I was a Los Angelinos, as they call it. And I would have to beg to differ. Like, I didn't see that it was coming from New York City, I would have to say, because New York City is the most diverse and culturally inclusive city in the United States, if not the entire world. So coming from this perspective, I felt like no. So ironically, though, I guess was in a space and time in my life where it was time. I think it was just time for me to step into myself more, to step into my heritage, to, especially with the research that I was doing, to really walk the talk, right? And prior, like I would just be a plain Jane. I think I do have some pictures of myself, before 2016. Not that many though, posted on social media, but I think I do. And you'll see, like, yeah, I dress more like a hippie, I would guess you could say. Just very laid back clothing. And I still kind of dress that way, but I kind of intersperse it with, my African fashion. And when I purchased my first dashiki, I made a whole video on it. I was just so excited. I was just like very elated just to feel myself in that garment, and it's the colors, it's the vibrancy of the colors, it's the meaning of what it represents, right? That's the thing about African clothing. Anything actually related to African, especially African art, like it's symbolic, so it's just you're wearing meaning, right? And I find it to be very important just to portray the person who I am. I remember seeing my psychologist back in Los Angeles. This was part of the fulfillment for my doctoral degree, that we all were required to go and see a psychologist. And I hired a psychoanalyst. And for homework, she gave me an assignment, and she had me watch this. I might repost the video, but she had me watch this TED Talk. And the TED Talk, as most of them are, is very concise, short, like 10 to 12 minutes long, but it was just so powerful what was said in the TED Talk. The speaker was essentially talking about how what we wear reflects who we are, right? So, and knowing who you are, your appearance should reflect that, right? And prior to me starting that therapy with my psychologist, like I said, I was just, I was wearing jeans, I was wearing sneakers, I was wearing just basic clothing, right? Nothing this colorful or nothing that hold any kind of significant meaning. It was just regular clothes, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jean jackets, things like that. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just something I think resonated inside of me when I went home and I watched that video, and I'm just like, it just stuck with me. And I started one of my clinical rotations in South Central Los Angeles, and I decided to move from Hollywood, California, to be closer to my clinical rotation. And I was in Inglewood, and I stumbled across this store, this African-centered clothing store. And it's like the rest is history, y'all. I got my first dashiki. I got my first African skirt. I put it on, I think, inside the store, right? I tried it on, and I was just like, oh my gosh, yo. I was like, this is me. I felt like I had become a different person in what I put on. And then in wearing it, like, I think it really accentuated just my features, my natural beauty in and of itself. And I got so many compliments, insane. Meanwhile, while living in Los Angeles, I stumbled across a fashion designer. We met at this event. I think the event's called The Come Up. And I'm going to get to what I purchased yesterday. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But I went to this event called The Come Up, which basically attracts, similar to the event I went yesterday, Black owned small business owners, right? So I went out there, and this guy, he introduced himself. He was out there with his partner and with, his clothing brand that he owns. And he introduced himself. We exchanged contact information, and I'm laughing because it's just like, history is funny. And by the way, you guys, I don't know if you guys can notice, but I'm a little bit tired. I went to bed like 3 o'clock this morning. I woke up like 8. I tried to go back to sleep, but it just really didn't quite work out how I wanted to. So I'm not fully rested as I should be, even though I feel like I'm not tired though, but I can tell that I am not fully rested, if that makes sense. So yeah, you guys probably can notice that I am not my full self today, this morning. But yeah, like, we exchanged contact information, and then I learned more about him and learned that, he had been working with a lot of different celebrities. Like, his clothing, has been worn by a lot of different celebrities. He has been a part of different fashion shows, and I just find it interesting to see like how all of this was coming together, and that's one thing about, I think, manifestation, is that it is true. It's like what you put out into the universe, you attract, what the intentions that you set out for yourself, you begin to attract things that are in alignment with your intentions. And I think it was more of a subconscious thing. It's like, this is not something I was deliberately trying to do. This is just something that was unfolding before my eyes. And, this is like around the same time when I was stepping into just embracing my cultural identity, that I met this guy, this fashion designer, and I'm like, wow. Ever since, like ever since, right? So I'm gonna show you guys this here, and I love. Like I came across this person yesterday, this vendor. So I'm walking through the venue, right, that hosted all of these different vendors. I think it had to be at least 50 different Black owned vendors, yo. And I see this table a lot, like with this assortment of colors, right? And symbols. And I'm just like, wait, I recognize those symbols. That looks familiar. And I'm just like, yo, this is the epitome, right, of what I'm talking about when it comes to luxurious fashion. Yo, I could be like his poster child here. I can be his model. But I met this beautiful Ghanaian fashion designer at this event, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take out what I purchased, but like I'm just in awe of the bag, yo. Do you guys see that? Those are Adinkra symbols. So the name of his company is called, or brand is called Adinkra Republic, designed for royals. I'm just like, it's just funny how I just gravitated to that table, you know. That's just how, like, it works, you know. Manifestation, alignment works. You just are pulled. I was just pulled, and it was many different vendors, and I did stop at a few. I did actually purchase some Palo Santo from another vendor I'm going to probably a little bit later. But I'm just like, isn't that cute? Now I know some of you guys might say, wait, that kind of reminds you of what? The European brand, right? Louis Vuitton. Is that European or is that French? I don't know, because I'm not really into those types of designers. I think that if we're going to invest a significant amount of money into fashion, we should do it with our own. I mean, I think that's big, right? Especially as a Pan-African. It's like everything that I do aligns with my belief system, my socio-cultural, political belief system. That's just the way it is. And so the symbol here that he has with his logo is the Adinkra symbol, return and get it, Sankofa. I love it. I love it. It's just funny how like me and him, like we meshed. And so this is when I'm opening it up. This is what it comes in, right? I'm just like, oh, I love the packaging. It's all about the packaging, yo. I love this. And so it's his, again, it's his logo there. And oh, he has a little story on the back. So it says, why? We have created a brand to give you that royal feeling with each step, each pair of socks. Yes, these are socks. Is designed with an explanation of the symbols and an inspirational quote that reminds you to stay true to the symbol's true definition. And funny enough, like my very first painting that I started back during the pandemic, this was back in 2020, you know, when we were kind of locked in, we were sheltered in place, right? With really nothing to do, no place to go. I took to painting essentially. And so I went out to Michael's, the art store, and I purchased a bunch of supplies. And one of my first paintings were the Adinkra symbols. I think I did, how many did I do at that time? I think I did like 12 Adinkra symbols at the time. And yo, since I have so many Adinkra symbols, right? And I was explaining to him, like, yo, I know about Adinkra. He was like, wait, how do you know about this? He's like, where are you from? I said, I was born in Florida, but I live in Manhattan. He was like, oh, he was like, I thought you was a sister. I'm like, I'm offended. I am a sister, but this is the colonization, right, of the African mind and the divisiveness that has been created through the colonization of the European. They got people believing, he's in the first, actually, that's my mom, but he's in the first that has actually said something like that, right? Like to me, you know, and it's just, it's evident when people I think aren't really conscious, right? We're always like, yeah, 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 you're right, you're right. I'm like, yeah, like I am a sister. What are you talking about? And another person say, oh, because I was in a grocery store, I think, and he asked me the same question, like, where are you from? And I told him, where I was born. And he's like, oh, I thought you were a real African. Oh, I remember I was back in Los Angeles. He's like, oh, I thought you were a real African. Like, what is a real? I'm like, I am. I take offense to that, though. I really do. Even though I wasn't born in Africa, Africa was definitely born in me genetically. So anyway, after we got past that, I explained to him, like, yo, I know about Adinkra symbols because, like, I am immersed in the African culture. Obviously, I'm African myself. I'm an American African, and I have an array of different paintings of Adinkra symbols, and I end up sending them to him, texting them to him later on so that he can see. But you guys, check this out. I'm going to make this video kind of short because I see my mom has called me. It's nice. I just love the quality. Like, yes, honey, yes. Yes, okay. It's the packaging for me, okay? It's the packaging for me. So I'm going to take these out. I was trying to decide if I should try them on, but I am not going to try them on here. I could, but I am not going to try them on here. It's just like the quality is very high quality. And I guess, of course, I did pay a nice pretty penny for these. But I'm sure it's well worth it. So, as you guys can see, this is a kente cloth sock here. Kente cloth design. I love it. Oh, all right. I love the colors here, yo. The purple, the yellow, the green. It's like the peach colors. Like, oh, yes. And I believe all these Adinkra symbols here, you guys will see, I have actually painted. You guys go check out my album of homemade art I have on Facebook. Yes. Yes, I love it. So this is Aya. It's a symbol of endurance and resourcefulness. An individual who wears this symbol suggests that he has endured many adversities and outlasted much. So timely. Yes, honey. And so he was explaining to me like how and why he founded this fashion design, saying that, working in corporate America, like he, obviously are expected to dress very like professionally, right, with a suit and tie. And he said that he wanted to create something that he could wear, he can bring with him, wherever he goes, especially, in his role in corporate America. And I'm just like, hey, you see, okay. So that's why he created these socks, and he also created a line of bow ties and dress ties for men. And I didn't get those, of course, because I don't wear ties. But maybe I should, Maybe I should. I start my own fucking trend here. But yes, I'm just like. I love it. All right, and I love this color too, yo. Very earth tone-ish color. It's another Adinkra symbol. Let's see. Some of these I do know about heart, and some like my mind is kind of drawing a blank. Okay, this is intelligence. And he has a quote here. It says, intelligence without wisdom brings destruction. Okay. Yes. I love it. Yes. I told him, I said, yo, I can get the whole table. So you guys can see I got 4 different pairs of socks. He had at least 20 different designs, but I only got, I can buy the whole freaking table, but I only got 4. And then the last, this is my Supremacy of God. I love these colors. There is red, white, and blue. Y'all know I'm definitely going to wear these to work. Juxtaposed against the traditional work suit, right? My slacks, my blouse, my blazer. I have a couple of blazers. I like Calvin Klein. I like DKNY blazers. They're really nice. So yes, this is a symbol of the supremacy and omnipotence or omnipotence of God. I love it. So I don't know which I'm going to wear first. But yes, I think, fashion, and I definitely can see myself, in fashion. A lot of you guys don't know, but a little fun fact is that when I was a teenager, I used to be a model. I used to be skinny too. I'm like very model-esque type shape. I may say I may still have that. I definitely know I have it in my face still, but in terms of my body, your girl picked up some pounds. But my frame is still very much model-esque. And so I used to be a model, and I had visions. Wait, this way, this one. I had visions of, becoming a fashion model. I did runway modeling back then, but it was so strict though. Like my issue with modeling back then, and I'm sure nothing has changed, but people don't understand like the strictness of the profession. It's like you're dictated on what to eat, what to wear, what you can, and so many restrictions, what you can and can't do. You can't smoke. And I was a teenager, like I said. You can't smoke. You can't chew gum in public. You can't really chew gum at all because models don't chew gum. And you have to like just be this perfect figure, right? You can't look down. You always have to look up, right? It's just, it feels like you become a robot in a sense. I feel like I was kind of losing myself, and I definitely didn't want that. So that career was kind of short-lived. But now I think about it like, how different would my life be had I stuck with modeling? I guess one can say that I'm a model, but in a different way. You can look at it that way. So last but not least, I actually wanted to share this before. When I first got it, I went to this screening of Your Place, Not Mine. It was a film. Well, it is a film. It just came out. But I was invited to an advanced screening of it. I forget the actors. Oh, it's Reese Witherspoon and Ashton Kutcher. Netflix produced film that I was invited to. This was February 6th. And this is at the Paris Theater on West 58th Street in Manhattan. But this is a really good film. So I was surprised they gave us these little cute little bags here. And then I have been curious to see, is this chocolate? These are like little relics from the film, right? So I like how they do the transmedia thing where, they take something that was in the film, an object, and then you get to actually have the object as a viewer. But I was curious to see. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm like, what is this? They gave us 2 of these. I'm like, what is this, y'all? $50, 25, or is this 50 cents? What is that? And my mom is like, what is this girl doing? I'm like, is this chocolate or is what? Okay. Obviously, I think this comes off, right? Let's see. It is chocolate. I figured it was. Let's see what it tastes like. It's a nice branding. Okay. It's like regular chocolate. This, I think, is a seed. Or no. This is a, what do you call these things? Plants go in. Is it a vase? But I thought this was a seed. I have no idea what the hell this is. What is this? I thought it was a seed so that we can grow our own plant. Because in the film, I think she had plants that she instructed him to care for. Oh, I'm telling a story, not too much of it though. And then they give us a cute little pen, which I can get enough of. I can't get enough of pens because a good portion of my job consists of writing. So there you have it. I am about to wrap this video up, call my mom to see what is going on, and I will catch you guys later in the next one. Not today, but tomorrow I will be coming back because I'm going to do a video, a very interesting topic. Should I tell you guys the name of the topic I'm going to talk about? So someone sent me an email. This was probably about 2 weeks ago. This guy, I'm pretty sure he's white, a white guy. Actually, I know he's white because he sent me freaking nasty ass dick pics. And I'm just like, you could have saved the dick pics. I don't care about the size of your freaking penis. But he emailed me separate emails, right? So one email, he sent the topic that he wanted me to talk about, and then the other email, he was like, oh yeah, by the way, just so that you think that I'm not lying, here's the size, like here's a picture of himself lying. He had himself lying down with the freaking penis on hard, but very little. I'm just like, you could just say that. So disgusting, right? Definitely was not suspecting that, or expecting that. But in this email, he basically wanted me to talk about penis equity. Equal rights for men with small penises. I'm just like, okay, right? Because it's like, obviously there is a bias, right, when it comes to mate selection, and mate preference, and women, have obviously been very frank and outspoken about their preferences relating to penis size, When women say they don't want a small penis, doesn't mean that they want a humongous penis. It just means that they don't want a small, because there are men who have little tiny, itty bitty penises, right? And it's just like useless. It's like, you might as well just be with the woman if you're gonna have a penis that small, right? If a woman's gonna be with a man with a penis that small. So that's essentially what a woman is saying, that, she prefers a man with a decent size, a workable penis, right? But anyway, so I'm gonna address that email tomorrow. You guys come back and watch that. But on that note, I will catch you guys in the next one. I don't do videos from here. It's like very rare, and I rarely sit on this couch. Why? I guess it's just more for fashion. It's just more for the look. It's not really a comfortable couch, I would say. It is a bed though. It kind of lets out into a bed, but yeah, I don't sit on it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later in the next one. Drop your comments below. And if you are a fashion designer watching this video, feel free. I don't usually invite people to promote their links on my page necessarily, but yeah, I want you to, right? So if you are a fashion designer, feel free to drop the links to your fashion design, your brand below, and I can check it out. See you guys in the next one. Love you guys.